Sometimes, the past doesn't stay buried, it waits for you in places you least expect. Like the Sunset Motel, a crumbling relic on Route 66, where one traveler's simple stopover unraveled a mystery decades in the making. Our story begins on a dusty stretch of highway, where the neon sign of the Sunset Motel flickered weakly against the twilight. The traveler, a man named Ethan, had been driving for hours, searching for a place to rest. The motel looked nearly abandoned, its parking lot empty and windows dark. But something compelled him to stop. Inside the lobby, the air was thick with the scent of mildew and forgotten memories. The clerk, an elderly man with a distant look, handed Ethan a key to room 12. "You're the only guest," he said, his voice tinged with something Ethan couldn't quite place. As Ethan entered the room, he noticed something unusual: a photograph tucked beneath the lamp on the nightstand. It was an old black and white image of a family standing in front of the motel. On the back, scribbled in faded ink, were the words, "Find her." This was no ordinary photo. It was a clue, the first thread in a mystery that would pull Ethan into the shadows of the past. The photograph led him to the local diner, a small, weathered building down the road. The diner owner, a woman named Clara, seemed to recognize the photo immediately. "That's the Carter family," she said, her voice trembling. "They stayed here in 1963. They disappeared without a trace." Clara's words sent a chill down Ethan's spine. The Carter family, parents and their young daughter, had vanished, leaving behind only whispers and unanswered questions. But Clara knew more than she let on. She handed Ethan a journal, its pages yellowed with age. "This belonged to the mother," she said. "She left it behind the day they disappeared." The journal was filled with cryptic entries, detailing strange occurrences at the motel, unexplained noises, shadows moving in the night, and a sense of being watched. The final entry was chilling. "They're here. They've come for her." Ethan's curiosity deepened. Who were they? And who was her? The journal hinted at a dark secret, something tied to the motel itself. As Ethan dug deeper, he discovered that the Sunset Motel had once been a haven for travelers, a place of rest and respite. But over the years, it had become a site of tragedy, accidents, disappearances, and unexplained deaths. Locals whispered that the motel was cursed, a place where the past refused to let go. Ethan's investigation led him to an old newspaper article from 1963. It detailed the disappearance of the Carter family, but also mentioned a young woman named Sarah, who had been staying at the motel at the same time. Sarah, it seemed, was the key to the mystery. According to the article, Sarah had been traveling alone, seeking refuge from an abusive husband. She had befriended the Carter family during her stay, but on the night they disappeared, she vanished too. Ethan realized that Sarah was the her mentioned in the journal. The final clue came from Clara. She handed Ethan a small, rusted key. "This was found in the motel's basement years ago," she said. "No one knows what it opens." Ethan returned to the motel, his heart pounding with anticipation. The basement was dark and damp, its walls lined with forgotten relics of the past. In the corner, he found an old trunk, its lock rusted shut. The key fit perfectly. Inside the trunk, Ethan discovered a collection of letters, photographs, and a diary. The diary belonged to Sarah. Her entries revealed the truth. The Carter family had been protecting her from her husband, who had tracked her down to the motel. On the night they disappeared, he had come for her. The family had tried to stop him, but in the chaos, all four had vanished. The diary ended with a plea: "If anyone finds this, tell the world what happened. Don't let our story die here." Ethan felt a profound sense of responsibility. He had uncovered a tragedy that had been buried for decades, a story of love, sacrifice, and loss. He decided to share Sarah's story, to ensure that the Carter family's bravery would not be forgotten. As he left the Sunset Motel, Ethan glanced back at the flickering neon sign. The past, he realized, was never truly gone. It lingered in places like this, waiting for someone to uncover its secrets. And sometimes, it's up to us to listen.